Hey sparkle lovers, welcome back to another book review video. So in this video, I'm going to review for you guys The Book Thief by Markus Zusak. Before getting to the video, if you are new to my channel, welcome to Sparkly Fam. I'm Tiana. I make videos here on my YouTube channel mostly about book reviews, online shopping, and also creative DIY, study with me, and much more interesting things. If you are interested, please do subscribe to my channel and stay tuned. I'll link some of my videos in the description box below so you can check them out. So without further ado, let's get into the video. Let's talk about The Book Thief. The book is really special as it is narrated by Death. I haven't read a book narrated by Death so far, and also the story is really emotional, seriously made me cry. But indeed, it became one of my favorites without any doubt. I really like the unique way it has written by the author, especially as I mentioned earlier, it is narrated by Death. So the story takes place during the Second World War in the Nazi Germany, and the plot follows a girl called Liesel. She is on her way to her new foster parents, Hans and Rosa, with her little brother and mother. In the story, Liesel's mother is only mentioned a few times. Liesel's father is a communist, so he was taken away by the Nazis, and that is why her mother taking both her children to foster care to save them. But unfortunately, her little brother died on their way and he was buried, and there Lisa steals her first book, a book of a gravedigger. There is an interesting thing about this girl, Lisa, that is, even though she doesn't know how to read or write, she loves books. She wanted to learn how to read and write, but she at first there's no guide, there's no one to guide her how to read or write. But she's really kind of love to read and write. So her first book, she steals her first book at the funeral of her little brother, and it is a book of a gravedigger which has guidelines to follow by a gravedigger. So then Liesel arrives to her foster parents, and she was able to develop a close relationship with her foster father, Hans, and he teaches her to read first in her bedroom and then in basement. And Liesel steals books that the Nazi party is looking to destroy and read them with the help of her foster father. Not only that, through collecting laundry for her foster mother, she also becomes friendly with the mayor's wife. Also, she allows Liesel to read in her library at her home. Later, she steals books in the same library after her foster mother lost her job in the mayor's house. Liesel's best friend is a boy called Rudy living in the same neighborhood, and sometimes Rudy also helps Liesel to steal books, and together they sometimes steal food because they are kind of starving because of the war. They are kind of very poor, and because of that matters, they sometimes steal food, and Liesel somehow she just wanted to steal books, and together they play and becomes really best friends. Things happens normally in their day-to-day lives until her foster parents hides a Jewish man named Max in their basement. Eventually, Liesel gets friendly with Max, and she recognizes her power of language and written words and shares it with Max. And Liesel later starts to write her own book with her own words, and she finally learned how to express her feelings into words, and she starts to read many books, and she's kind of reading and writing, and her life's kind of getting better with the power of language, power of books she has found. Later, Liesel's father drafted into army as a punishment for offering a piece of bread for one of a weak Jewish prisoner who was marching through their town to a Jewish camp, and because of this, Max leaves their home fearing that it will make many more troubles because he is a Jewish man, and so because of that, Max leaves their home. After Liesel's foster father drafted into the army, an accident took place several months later, and Hans' leg was injured and he returns home. After a few days, bombs fall on Liesel's street, killing all of her friends, family, and neighbors. And Liesel is the sole survivor, and she was writing her book in the basement. Because of that, she was in the basement in that moment. She was the only sole survivor from that incident. And Liesel is after that, Liesel is taken in by the mayor and his wife. And in 1945, in 1945, Liesel works in the tailor shop owned by Rudy's father when Max returns, and finally they have an emotional reunion, which is really emotional than which is shown in the film The Book Thief. It is much more described that it was a really emotional reunion in the book. So as I told you at the beginning, the book is narrated by Death, and he narrates the whole story till the death of Liesel. Liesel dies as an old woman in the suburbs of Sydney, Australia, with family, friends, but it doesn't mention whom she got married to or things like that. And when she dies as an old woman, she never forgets the memories of her little brother, her mother, father, and especially her foster parents, Hans, Rosa, and Rudy, her neighbors, and also the Max. And she never forgets all those memories she had with them. And the last words of the narrator is, "I am haunted by humans." According to my opinion, it means that sometimes human can get so cruel and evil than the death. As you are reading the book, you can find out that the death feels sympathy for the innocent people and for their souls and their human stories. But most humans don't have that feeling of sympathy to each others, and thousands are dying because of the cruelty of the war. And that is why Death says that humans are more evil than Death, and Death can't stop it, and he also can't help with that. He really feels very sympathy for the humankind. And this book really broke my heart, though I love it so much. Really emotional. I like to rate this book with a complete 5 stars, and I highly recommend this book to you guys. Just read it out. I highly recommend this book, and I'm really very sure that you will need a lot of tissues while reading this book, because this is really emotional book for you guys, and this is indeed a great book that you must read. So thank you so much, sparkle lovers, for watching this video. Leave your comments down below, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and feel free to subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. And I will see you guys in my next video. Stay safe and happy.